in Allentown, Pennsylvania for our glorious return to Dorney Park. We have not been to this park since 2020, a year which some of you may remember introduced some different experiences. Because of COVID capacity and closures, we walked away feeling unfulfilled. We missed 2 coaster credits here. And since that time, they've added a third, a brand new B&M dive coaster, Iron Menace. We got a lot to see and do here today. It's been a while and we're soaking up the vibes, so let's get moving. I'm Tim.
I'm Katie.
And we do things like this.
And we have some friends joining us for the journey today too. Chad and Venessa from 2 Tickets to Adventure. If you're not subscribed, get on it, you're missing out. And super convenient, you just pick up your fast lane like immediately after walking into the park, which is new. I've never seen it this easy before. With our powers combined, hurrah! It's the party mobile!
Get run over by Snoopy. So watch out.
Dorney Park, you may or may not know, is built on a hill. So we're headed downhill to the back of the park now, where Steel Force, the park's hypercoaster, and Iron Menace both exist. There's also a brand new restaurant down there. I can't remember the name. I want to say Iron Menace or the Iron Chef Bar and Grill, something along those lines. We'll be checking that out for lunchtime. But first, we gotta claim our credits.
There's quite a bit of kinetic energy in this park. I didn't notice it before because so little was running during COVID, but oh, look at Steel Force. Beautiful.
All right, guys, a couple of fast facts on our way to Iron Menace. This is the first new coaster in almost 20 years at Dorney Park. The last one they built was in 2005, and that's the B&M floorless Hydra. This is, as Tim said in our intro, a B&M dive coaster, which is one of my favorite kinds of coasters, to be honest. Stands at 160 feet at the top. It's a 152-foot drop, and you can see a lot of it actually from the parking lot, which is pretty cool.
So in addition to a brand new coaster, we also have an entirely new themed area to house that steel coaster. This is the Steel Yard, and back there in the distance is Iron Menace, our new B&M dive, which we're about to go claim a credit on.
I will give it up to Dorney too. They have done a great job theming this area. This is your dining zone. You got tons of seating out here. And then look, we got like a freight yard train, or like old pieces of one. Obviously it's not actually on rails, it doesn't actually move, but it's a fun little set piece for you to enjoy while you're eating.
At this point, I can also confirm for you that the restaurant is called Iron Mill Grill and Bar, not Iron Mill Bar and Grill. I feel like there was a slight missed opportunity there. It would have rolled off the tongue better the other way.
All right, so our plan right now is obviously to go hop on Iron Menace while it's open. We don't know what the weather's gonna be like a little bit later, so we wanna knock out that coaster credit first and foremost. Once that's done, we've got one to claim on Possessed right next to it, and one to claim on Steel Force, which is just across the way. Then, lunch.
Here she is. I know you can't see her super well. The weather can't decide what it wants to do today. Half a second ago it was sunny, now it's cloudy, then it's sunny again. 10 minutes from now we could have pouring rain, we don't know. We're going on this thing rain or shine. It looks glorious. There can be no dispute that Dorney Park does crush the game when it comes to signage though. This is awesome. What a photo op, and look! You even have these little carve outs here so you can sit down. This is the emptiest you will see this area all day though. If you don't come here first, and if you don't come here on a Sunday or a weekday, this is gonna be busy 24/7. I can't speak to the theming of the queue or the attraction itself yet, but the station is immaculately themed. McTavish steel, look at this. Littl's not as high as some of the other dives we've been on. This is certainly not as big as Griffin. But it is still gonna be a great ride because all dives are. They did such a great job with theming in here. This is terrific. McTavish proprietor. Now this is significant. Popularity of the ride may indicate that riders will be assigned a specific seat. You might not get front row, you might not get back row. All you're guaranteed is a ride on the attraction. I'll take that win.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Are you excited?
I am. I'm trying to figure out why there's water all over the floor.
Please remain seated facing forward, keeping your head against the headrest and your hands and arms inside the ride.
Looking at that layout, it might be about the same as Baron, actually.
I feel like it's gonna be like a few hundred feet long.
Maybe. All right, so it looks like we got 7 seats per row, and there are cubbies to put our bags in across the platform. So we will be dropping our bags with the camera, and then hopping in the front row for our very first ride. You guys ready? Yeah! Yeah! Okay, so ducking into the shade here just to give you our initial impression after our first ride. Amazing attraction all the way around. Theming, velocity, the first drop.
I really thought the theming was above and beyond, especially for a Cedar Fair park. There's sound loops here, there's like creepy laughter as you go up the hill.
If they had been able to continue the sound loops onto the actual layout of the coaster itself, that would have been extra special, but that's very rare for a coaster. This, to get something in the station, to get theming all around the queue, to get like onto the actual lift hill and still have a kind of immersive themed experience, that, as Katie said, is very rare for an amusement park, which, as much as we'd all like to think that Cedar Point and Cedar Fair as a whole do theme parks, Knott's is really the only theme park in the Cedar Fair lineup right now. This is a very well themed attraction in a themed area. I see Dorney trying, and I really appreciate that.
Something you can't see, except for if you're on the ride, is this kind of like fiery coal pit that you're diving into, which was a cool surprise being on top of the
you get a view from the top that you don't get from the bottom.
And the view overall of the park was glorious as well.
And it finally cleared up, so we had a little bit of a breeze coming through with a nice sunny day. This was, I think, the ideal first ride experience. Now, I will say, I had the absolute outside, the right-hand side, the furthest seat on the outside, and I will say I did feel a little bit of rattle in that final element. The tighter helix, you do feel the rattle a little bit more, and I think that's just because it's been riding constantly through many different elements since opening. As the ride kind of warms up throughout the day, that might not be the case anymore. So we are gonna try to get back on it at some point today, but we got a couple other credits to claim in the meantime. Now, something else that I've noticed immediately and love is that they've already staged this area to weave the actual haunted house from Haunt into the McTavish Steel ambience, the overall immersive theme. So this is obviously not open right now, but come September, October, this will be a neat haunted attraction to bleed right into the McTavish Steel Mill area. We do have some restrooms right next to Iron Menace as well. Apparently these are not brand new restrooms, but the outside makes it look like part of the theme, which again, much appreciated for a Cedar Fair amusement park. This is an incredibly photogenic coaster. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of areas where you can get those photogenic shots. We're kind of doing a lap around the area, and most of the views are from the very, very bottom of that first drop. Everything beyond that, you either have to be outside or you have to be the parking lot or on the train, which unfortunately is not running today.
Oh, the train's
Memorial Day it opens. So by the time you see this vlog, it will be. So the seat also has these, like, what do we call it, the padding?
I think it's like, what is it called, like safety vest?
It's not a comfort collar, but it is very comfortable.
It's like the safety vest. Chad and Venessa know what it's called.
So our next coaster credit is one that is by no means new. It is Possessed, and it is an Intamin shuttle coaster. Back and forth, up and down the spike, and that's it. Not very exciting, but it's a coaster credit. And we missed it. So we need it.
Never again.
With that credit claimed, we are now headed out of the steel yard, at least temporarily, as we are thinking those clouds may yield some wetness. We're on our way now to Steel Force. I said it already, but I'm saying it again. Dorney Park is crowning champion of the signage game. Ride signage here is mint.
Once your train has come to a full and complete stop, unfasten your seatbelt and push up on your lap bar.
Over here on the ground near Steel Force, you can see the fossils etched into the pavement because this used to be the way over to a dinosaur walkthrough. They don't have it anymore. This is the only piece of dinosaur history that remains at Dorney. Imagine being a dinosaur and getting wiped from existence twice.
For a coaster that is significantly older than most of the other Hydra coasters we've been on, that was a really good ride.
It was a great ride.
We've done it before, and I gotta tell you, it was running smoother this time than it was the last time we did it,
Yeah.
which was 4 years ago. They've had some maintenance, some downtime since then. But it's definitely, like, if you're coming to Dorney Park, you can't skip that one. That's a really, it's so much smoother than it looks like it's gonna be. It's an older coaster, but it's holding up really, really well. It's
really nice views, really
And-
nice layout.
quite a bit of speed as well.
Yes.
Like I had that whole like G-force like on Mission Space type wobble
Yes.
in my cheeks too. That was a good time.
I have one additional, if minor, criticism of the Iron Mill Grill and Bar naming convention because the grill's here, and that makes sense, but there's no bar in there. The bar is like all the way over here at the shipping container. So why call it the Iron Mill Grill and Bar at all? Why not just call it the Iron Mill Grill? So here is our fried chicken sandwich and our mac and cheese. I say our, it's mine, but Katie got the same thing. So, kind of ours.
Yep.
And then you guys got the pork?
Yes.
Oh, that looks good. It looks better than I expected it to. And seasoned fries as well. And what are these?
Those are deep fried Krispy Kreme crumpets.
Okay.
That is the one dessert item at the location.
I'm down. Chicken sandwich, it's got bacon on it, coleslaw, looks like barbecue sauce too. I don't know, I didn't read the ingredients. I just saw chicken and my heart wanted chicken. So, flavor's good, a little bit overdone.
Well, that didn't go well.
It's hard to be artistic with this thing. It's a little bit.
It's like a cute novelty. I don't think it's a must-have.
So we are now headed back towards the front of the park because we do have a carousel credit to claim for our carousel loving friends Chad and Venessa here. And also, we have one last coaster credit we didn't get to last time, a Wild Mouse.
So as we mentioned at the beginning of the video, we did go in on Fast Lane today, and I gotta tell you, it's been nice having it, but we really didn't need it. It's been pretty slow today. It is a Sunday, and it is kind of on and off sprinkling, and the cloud cover comes in, and then the sun comes back. Fast Lane saves us a couple minutes here and there, but I think if you came on a Sunday, or a day when it's expected to maybe rain, you really don't need it.
This is one of those maybe cameras allowed, maybe not. We're not gonna risk it. We're just gonna have a good time. So I'm gonna go ride a giraffe and then we'll be right back. I changed my mind. I'm riding a tiger.
It doesn't go up and down, but it's worth it to ride a tiger.
This is it. very last coaster credit we need. And it's broken! Yeah!
As Maintenance walks into your introduction.
Oh, nuts. Wait, wait, wait! It's back up, it's back up! We got it, we can do it! We're going fast lane, let's go, let's go, let's go! Woo. Come, friends! Come! Yay! Time to play cat and mouse. Welcome back, guys! How about that brake check? We are gonna go ahead and claim a ride on Talon, B&M suspended. One of the better rides in the park the last time we visited. Hopefully that holds true. I think they're coming around right now. There they are. There, but for the grace of God, go I.
Remains one of the best attractions here at Dorney Park. We love our B&M suspendeds, we do. We've been on a lot of them. Alpengeist and Afterburn hold a special place in our hearts, but Talon is a pretty good one. Having said that, operations, maybe not the best.
Yeah, thank goodness for fast lane for this one.
Took about a half an hour with the fast lane to get front row. Now, no one made us wait for front row. We could have gotten on a lot quicker, but we wanted to be able to see everything, so. You win some, you lose some. Back to Iron Menace.
Which is why we found ourselves back here at the Steel Yard for another ride on this brand new B&M beauty.
All right, now fast lane is about to make a difference because there's quite a wait up there.
It's a good call for like the 15 minutes we used it.
Yeah.
Weaving our way through. Aha! Yep. And that's all overflow over there, so it can get even worse. This was the way. This was the way. It's so cool.
Once your train has come to a full and complete stop, unfasten your seatbelt and push up.
Gates are opening! Make sure any and all loose article plates for loose article bins!
Fasten your seatbelt.
All right, guys, see you on the other side. Iron Menace operations? Ooh. You're buckled in and buckled out in 15 seconds each way. Sadly, we are saying goodbye to our friends Chad and Venessa. But we still have a couple more hours left in us.
What we got in us?
We got left a little bit of daylight here before those clouds open up and ruin all of this.
Okay, so tragically, the weather is beginning to turn here. We will not be able to stick it out until close, almost certainly. Park closes today at 7, so it's close to 5 now.
Yeah.
We've gotten a lot out of this day. We're walking right now by Thunderhawk, the park's Woody. It's very rough, very rough. We did not like it the last time we did it, so I don't think we'll be doing it today because we already have the credit and we don't need it. It is very photogenic though. It's nice to look at.
Well, no wonder it's a little rougher. Thunderhawk is 100 years old this year. Happy birthday, Thunderhawk. Still not gonna ride you, but glad to know you've made it this far. Looking at the history of Thunderhawk, there's 1989's Hercules, which we just spent a long time talking to a few friends about. Hercules was a much beloved wooden coaster here, and once it became the second wooden coaster, the coaster became Thunderhawk. Probably a better name.
One last coaster for the day. Hydra. JoJo roll being what it is. We'll still do it because it's unique. So
you can kind of see that if the water attractions were running today, the Flume would actually ride right underneath of Hydra and get some really cool ride interactions. Not happening today, but supposedly the water rides will be opening on Memorial Day weekend. So you'll be able to do that and Thunder Canyon and the giant Flume around the corner all in one day, if so you choose.
As you likely know by now, I often choose not to do water attractions because I don't like them. But I will occasionally do a Flume if it's well themed and has a nice layout. Today is not that day.
Out of all the attractions that weren't running today, Thunder Canyon is one of the most intense rapid rides in this area. I am so glad I didn't even have the option of considering it, because I can tell you I would not want to do it. But there are people in our group who would have.
Well, that's gonna do it for our abbreviated day here at Dorney Park, our glorious return after 4 years away. Park's not open quite as long today because it is a Sunday. Tomorrow we do have to work, so we are gonna hustle out of here as well. But it was a great day. Honestly, the weather held out. We thought it was gonna pour about 3-4 times, and it actually rained on the way up here, but it never rained on us. We got to ride Iron Menace, the brand new B&M dive coaster, which first and second ride were kind of night and day, to be honest. It seemed for us and for our friends Chad and Venessa, who is always great to see. It seems like the perfect place to be on that attraction is front row center, which you may not have any control over. Obviously, when it's crowded, they might be assigning you to a row you might not be able to request, so you get what you get. But even so, a dive that's a little bit rattly in the back row is still a dive. And a dive beats a floorless any day of the week.
It does. Ended up being a nice day to catch up with some people. We did see the sun a little bit today, which in our area is a new thing these days.
I would say that Dorney has the vibe of being more of a locals park. There's a lot of people that come here from pretty close by that really enjoy it, and those are your season pass holders. There are people like us that come from a little bit further away just to appreciate the great lineup. It is a beautiful park, by the way. Lots of great landscaping scenery, and especially with the addition of Iron Menace and the Steel Yard, a lot more immersive theming than they used to have as well. If you haven't been here ever, you need to come at least once.
Haven't been in a really long time.
There's
Probably
updates.
worth checking it out.
Yeah. As always, great to hang out with Chad and Venessa. 2 tickets to adventure. We will link them down below. Until next time, I've been Tim.
I'm Katie.
And every day,
New adventure.
and we'll see you again real soon. Bye!